Hi, I'm Dave Painter. We're here in a lovely sunny spot on the canoe trail, which will be opening up for Easter. This is a lovely spot to film WildWatch. No surprises really, but this month has really been a story of departure over the last few weeks. All the swans are gone. We know from our satellite birds that some of those are as far away as Germany and Poland now. All of the ducks are down. Virtually all of the big flocks of waders have gone. Still a scattering of those species, so you will see some of them, but not the great numbers. One of the exciting little things at the moment has been a lovely little flock of siskin and a few redpolls around the arrival area as you approach the building, so hopefully they'll stay for a little bit longer yet. The white-fronted geese are still here as well, the 5 Greenlands still in amongst them, but gorgeous weather like this, they could be going any day now. One of the highlights through the winter has been the black-tailed godwit flock. Exceptionally high numbers this year because of that mild weather. In amongst them, there's been a bar-tailed godwit. It's still here. Look out for that, and there'll be more migrant bar-tailed godwits coming through in the next little while as well. And those black-tailed godwits will be coming into full summer plumage shortly. Looking ahead, the spring has already started for us. Spoonbills have been seen, a classic spring bird for us, and we will see more of those over the next little while. High tides at the moment as well. Catch a high tide from the Holden Tower and you'll see the start of the wader migration. We've already seen ring plovers, bar-tailed godwits starting to move through, and there'll be a lot more of that coming in the next little while. Weather like this, we're looking for the passerines, your wheatears and your Sam Martins starting to turn up. The breeding season's already started for us as well. Still a little while before birds are actually laying eggs, but they're setting up territories. Lots of activity from the avocets, they're increasing daily. Oyster catchers, very noisy. You'll certainly hear them even if you don't see them. Black-headed gulls starting to come into that summer plumage. And something we will see a lot more of over the next few months are those cranes.
Hello there, we're out behind the South Lake today making friends with some geese and having a look for Nene Nests. So you might think it's a little bit early for breeding in the UK climate right now, but actually the Nenes think this is the perfect time to lay their eggs. In fact, since Valentine's Day they've been laying an average clutch of about 5 eggs in little secluded areas behind the scenes, and it's my job to just check up on them, give them a little health check and see how they're getting on. This basket contains 2 vital ingredients for successful nest management. One is down. Down is a fantastic natural resource that all ducks and geese have under their feathers, and you can see that this is a lovely insulatory layer, fantastic for keeping eggs warm, both naturally and artificially. And my second tool is a selection of wooden eggs. I've brought the swan egg along today so you can see just how vital these wooden eggs can sometimes be. We can substitute the real egg into the incubator and put out a wooden egg instead. Believe it or not, the birds don't always know the difference. And you can see here that someone's tried to eat this a number of times and failed. But the reality is when the female comes back to the nest, she doesn't know that anything's changed. And ideally, when her real eggs are ready to hatch, we can come on back down with them and hopefully she can hatch them none the wiser. My job is to make sure that they have the best chance of being parents that they can possibly have and allow them a really positive breeding experience here at Slimbridge.
We're in total and we're looking at the mud puppies. Mud puppies come from North America and they live in the river systems. They're a type of salamander. They're a little bit different to the salamanders that you see, the newts that you see in the UK, because these guys, they've got these external gills, which means they remain underwater. During the springtime, the mud puppies will lay their eggs, and they'll lay their eggs on the underside of rocks. This tends to make them a little bit more elusive because they're guarding their nests with eggs. They're hoping that no predators will come along, so they stay in those nests throughout the spring and summer. So you're very often not going to be able to see these guys because they're hiding away. However, during this time of the year, the male still will be poking his head out of the rocks, waiting for me to drop a worm in, because he's quite a greedy guts. The females tend to go off their food because they're caring for their eggs. So mud puppies behave a little bit differently to our native amphibians. Our native amphibians, when they go to the water, they tend to breed and lay their eggs and then leave their eggs, so their eggs have to look after themselves. With our mud puppy mothers, they actually care for the eggs. So what they do, during the time when the eggs are developing, they'll use their head to knock the eggs, and that helps oxygenate them to help them develop. Fingers crossed the eggs are fertile, and hopefully once they've developed and hatched, we can show you some of the youngsters on show.
Hello, I'm John, and we're in the otter enclosure today for a change, and it's nice to have them back. They've had a couple of eventful weeks where they've had holidays round the back while they built a nice new wall for our visitors to sit on so they can hear the otter talk, and it's me doing the talk, not the otters. Also, Minnie and Ha Ha, it was their 7th birthday a couple of weeks ago, so to make it slightly special for them, they had their food wrapped up in birthday presents. Now, otters don't usually get presents in the wild, obviously it'd be a bit of a novelty, but here we wrapped up some of their fish ration in some shavings and some bedding, and it stimulates their sort of curiosity to find where food might be hiding. In the wild, they'd obviously be turning over rocks and stones and finding the fish and the insects and the invertebrates in the rock pools and such like. Whereas here, we can give them a bit of stimulation with some wrapping paper. So with the otters back at home, Slimbridge is back to normal, and the otter talks will be at 11:30 and 3 o'clock every day throughout the year. And come and hear news about this trio and watch them eating their fish suppers, but also hear about the news of the otters out on the reserve.
Thank you for watching WildWatch, and if you enjoyed, then please do get in touch on social media. Sign up to our newsletter to keep up to date on new episodes and events happening here at the centre, and just get down here and enjoy this weather.